Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Doctor Strange issue 13, 2023. And I really like this cover of them it just looks very kind of interesting. Strange, Black Cat, Moon Knight, and Taskmaster kind of dealing with some crazy stuff going on. But yet, the only real thing that this kind of pertains to is them kind of being gathered together to deal with some kind of strange threat. So, this one is called, starting the arc of Copolorum Part 1. So, we do not pick off with Bats' story, but we do pick up with what's going on here. And we see that Strange and Clea are seeing something that looks really fucking freaky of, like, castles and shit in New York City, in the Upper West Side. I take it that this is not what the street normally looks like? No, Clea, it is not. Then what is it? I fear that it is Cobolorum. You say that as if you expect me to know what you are talking about, Sai. It is a game. I love Clea's sass there. I'm like, yeah? Can you kind of tell me more about this? So, he then starts going into an explanation that it's a fantasy role-playing game that players imagine themselves as warriors and thieves, clerics and wizards, and conduct campaigns of violence in search of wealth. Harmless fun, all things considered. And then I love how Strange goes, there was a bit of a moral panic in the 1980s surrounding these games, however. There was talk about how they were demonic, how they messed about with real magic. All nonsense, of course. I love it. It's like, except in this one case. Except for one. Cobolorum. And I'm like, I love how it's like, in most cases, it was just bullshit. Except for this fucking thing. Real magic? But who would dare? Who indeed? A mystery to this day, and I have tried to find out. I'm like, ooh, I'd like to see how Strange did that. Powerful rights are inscribed in the rulebook, encoded in the illustrations, ciphered into the randomized tables. A gaming group unwittingly become a coven, a circuit. That's kind of crazy, and I love how it's explained like that. And the thing is, we see that like this is actually alluding to who we'll see later on in this issue of what's kind of going on. Until the imaginary adventure is no longer imaginary, but a festering sore in reality itself, as we see before us. That is one fucking hell of a way to describe it, and yeah, that's pretty on point. Until our world and the world of Cobolorum intersect, then let us lance this ontological boil, my love. Would that we could, darling, but this is not the first time I've battled Cobolorum, and I know this, the rules must be followed, as he goes into astral projection mode. It's like, the rules must be followed. Interesting. Which means I must assemble a party. So now we get pretty much Magnificent Seven, where he's got to get all this group together. The Thief, Felicia Hardy, a.k.a. the Black Cat, and there. Hello, beautiful. Hello, Miss Hardy, as he bats up, and I actually really kind of like this take on Felicia. I mainly am more used to her whenever she pops up randomly in some other one, or as I've been reading Spider-Man, her with Spider-Man, so it's kind of cool to see her dealing with Strange like this. Oh, I see that you're otherwise engaged. Hate you, Doc. As she's able to catch it, and I love the art. I mean, I've been loving the art for this series, but seeing all the different kind of like, electrical, the laser wires, her trying to catch the jewel that she's stealing, and she's able to get it. It's like, yeah, alright. And you're like, alright, what the hell's going on here? Okay, what do you want, Strange? I require a thief, Miss Hardy, and as you have stolen from my Sanctum Sanctorum twice in recent memory, and have yet to find yourself exiled to the Dark Dimension, one could argue that you owe me. Yep. Psh, you got nothing on me. You'll never take me alive, Copper. Oh, do you think Spider-Man ever wonders who it was who almost exiled Manhattan to the vaults of the Gilded Saint? Evidently that was in Black Cat 2020, issue 5. You know what, Strange? When you're right, you're right. It's like, damn, he knows how to hit when he needs to. So then we go to the priest. Again, my condolences on your loss, Doctor. See Moon Knight issue 30 to see what's become of Mark Spector. And I don't know what's going on, and I don't know who this is. But I require a priest, and with both Moon Knight and Daredevil unavailable, I fear I must impose. It's like, interesting. Dr. Yaya Badir, a.k.a. Hunter's Moon. Okay, I thought that was Moon Knight, but that's Hunter's Moon. Interesting to learn that stuff more about these characters. It is no imposition, Doctor Strange. My brother Mark Spector owed you a debt, did he not? Given the situation, I couldn't possibly. Life and death are abstract concepts to a fist of Khonshu, Doctor, but debt is not. You will have your priest, Doctor Strange. So, interesting. And I do like the dark with the white circle for the moon. It works very well with the art style that we got here, but it's just really an affecting kind of design. So then we go to the fighter, Tony Masters, aka Taskmaster, aka that bastard, etc. Well, do we have an accord, Mr. Masters? Do we have an accord? Huh? You guys ever listen to yourselves? You know what I want to hear, Doc? What's in it for Mrs. Masters' little boy? Money? Let me assure you, Mr. Masters, there's no end to the number of leprechauns I could shake for gold coins. And I love that he's just this, like, Taskmaster is usually a mercenary and does mercenary kind of things. So this is the negotiation phase, which is very, very short. He's like, then I'm all in, Doc. Just like that. I mean, sure, aside from your promise of extorting tiny Irishmen on my behalf, working for quote-unquote heroes as a gas, criminal masterminds would chuck a guy like me to the wolves and sleep clean. Very good point. But a guy like you, forget it. You're going to get me out alive for sure. Otherwise, that poor devil, he didn't deserve this. Let's do this. And Doctor Strange's face is like, okay, but he's got a point. Because, granted, villains and bad guys, yeah, criminal masterminds would chuck a guy. It's like, you're disposable. You kind of know that going in. Guys like Doctor Strange, they normally should be trying to get you out alive as well. So then we see the party. It's like, all right. And Clea's like, well, so you assembled your little friends. An odd enough group of secret defenders, but needs must. Kobalorum has rules, Clea. I would like nothing more than to wage war upon it with you at my side, but the rules are clear. The realm must be entered by an adventuring party. Magic user, fighter, thief, priest. And how exactly do you know this other woman with white hair, Stephen? Clea, I assure you. Yo, Strange, get on the good foot. I want to be back for happy hour. Never mind, she's horrible. Indeed. It's like, okay, interesting take on Felicia there. Ooh. And, of course, we've got usual kind of paneling, but then we get, I love the use of the circle there, as they share a passionate kiss goodbye. I will return soon, my love. You had better, because if I have to assemble a party to come after you, I will be ever so cross. Come along, heroes. The time has come for us to play. And then we see them in their different kind of outfits, and I kind of love it when we get these kind of weird kind of takes where they have to go to different kind of places that justify costume changes like this, because goddamn, I really kind of love their kind of D&D inspired looks of Felicia's thief outfit. Let's see, Hunter's Moon's priest outfit, and Taskmaster's fighter outfit, and Strange is just great. So we're in the Ghast Woods. You didn't tell me this was going to come with a costume change. The world changes us to better suit it, my friends, and Mr. Masters. Ha! Are any of you familiar with fantasy role-playing games? Do I look like a nerd? Yeah, I dated in high school, Doc. It's like, damn. Did you really? I mean, I got memory problems, but probably. I love that's part of fucking Taskmaster's whole thing. He's like, maybe not. I don't know. I have memory problems. I am no stranger to liminal spaces, Doctor. The Fist of Khonshu have always walked in two worlds. Adding a third does not vex me. Well, I'm glad you guys are all having a good time, since somebody has to bring up the cliche. If you die in the game, do you die in real life? Oh, and then we get a little teaser for The Amazing Spider-Man 47. How should we torture Spider-Man this time? Can we just kill him, Ben? Simple and to the point. I like it, so we've got to look forward to that. Zeb Wells, Todd Naok. Interesting. April 2024. Miss Hardy, I regret to inform you, this game is real life. As we then see all these creatures besetting our party, it's like, ah, shit. And they're kind of spider ninja thingies, and it's like, okay, that's kind of freaky, but it's really kind of cool looking. Oh, hell yeah, it's sword and board time, baby. I was like, yes, that would be Taskmaster. Just chopping off heads. All the hitters you know, Strange, and you had to go with him? Splat, pow, ha! Masters is he's just having a fucking ball. Well, historically the purpose of the fighter has been that of a meat shield. Given the high level of risk inherent in such a role, it is best to recruit someone you would not mind losing. Ha ha ha! It's like, yep. Otherwise you'd probably go with, like, Steve Rogers or whatnot. but he would be probably more suited for a paladin role than a fighter role. You know what I mean? Yes, he would be more along the lines of more of a paladin than a fighter slash barbarian, which would be more exactly like how fucking Taskmaster is being shown here. All told, Doctor, these monsters are somewhat paltry, as we see Hunter's Moon just cracking out. Of course, this is merely the opening encounter. The forces arrayed against us will increase in lethality as Cobalorum takes our measure. Okay, so I'm the thief, and that comes down to want, whether in here or real life. The game is real life. Yes, Strange, you did tell me that. So what does the game want? What do any of us want? To exist. So we see them going deeper and deeper. And then, well, we see our party going through various different scenarios, as Strange explains. This is a psychomimetic space with rudimentary instinctual mind. In order to further exist, to grow, to solidify, it requires conscious thinking minds that can operate on a higher level of thought. To wit, players. In playing the game, they have opened the door, creating a closed circuit of arcane power, one that they are now bound to. We must take them out of Cobalorum, however much it might fight us in the process. It is a thing of rules, and we must defeat it by playing within those rules. If we can find a means of banishing it permanently in the process, so much the better. Fucking creatures fighting a fucking, like, tiger snake with a flaming head? It's fucking... I love when it's a supernatural comic and then just goes shitballs wild. But our priority remains the players. 4 or 5 innocents in well over their heads. Look at this. Face chest people. Holy shit. The game sucks, Strange. It is not my game, Miss Hardy. Yeah. Speak for yourself, Hardy. I'm having a ball. No one's got any guns to spoil the laughs. Pure hack and slash, baby. There, Strange, the players. As we see that Hunter's Moon's able to find them, and we see them as they're the same ones that we had seen in the opening. It's like, that's not good. Finally, quickly, oh, Strange. You never did understand this place, did you? As we see someone splash, like, with frickin' energy. So staid in your thinking, so uncreative in a place of unbounded creativity, so obsessed with the players when you should be asking yourself this. Why be a player? No, not when you could be the master of the game. Baron Mordo! It's cool that Baron Mordo pops up. I'm like, yes! Alright, let's see how this works. Now, let us see. After all, what is a dungeon without a dragon? As he then summons a dragon, he's like, shit. I don't think this game is fun anymore. I'm like, Taskmaster. You see Felicia's face. It's like, that's where we're at. That's where it ends at the moment. So then we get a tease for the next one. Game over. A living role-playing game has taken root in Manhattan, transforming parts of the city into a dark fantasy world. Doctor Strange and his secret defenders have managed to insert themselves into the narrative. But they're not alone. Can Strange and company learn the rules and save those trapped within, or is it back to the Dark Ages for the Big Apple? So, overall, I really like this issue. The art was on point. I like them going out of their way to do crazy designs for their outfits. Well, they're not crazy. They're just really cool and different kinds of takes, but crazy kind of stuff with the monsters and everything. I like the whole basic setup of getting sucked into a role-playing game like this, and that Baron Mordo is pretty much dungeon mastering the whole thing in the background, and that he's the main bad guy that we have to fight. It's like, ooh, I really can't wait to see how this works out. And I love the interplay of Strange, Black Cat, Hunter's Moon, and Taskmaster. I mean, the manic glee. I mean, Taskmaster's a mercenary, and just seeing him actually really have fun and be like, haha! I don't really read that much with Taskmaster, but I think this is a really effective and kind of cool use for him. That just made me like, yeah, he could be a dill hole when our heroes have to fight him, but like, when he isn't an asshole to the heroes, and he's just like, going through with the situation, he could be a very interesting character to see. And I'm definitely interested more to see what goes on with Hunter's Moon, because I've liked seeing what's been going on, like whenever Moon Knight's been utilized in other kind of aspects. And I know that Jed MacKay has been writing Moon Knight, so of course it makes sense that we've got bleed over and everything. So I'm interested to see how that kind of works out, and how our heroes are able to get through with this. And I hope that we see that, like, Hunter's Moon, Black Cat, and Taskmaster are very pivotal in Strange defeating Baron Mordo and getting the players out of Cobalorum. So I'm really excited to see what happens within this arc. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.